Hey, welcome back to A Faster Me. This is 2025, the first race of the season. CBR number one, brought to you by Founders in Avery Brewing. Um, this is the I'm losing my words here. This is I think it's the Dominguez side, and we're going clockwise here around the big course. So this is the women's P123 race. And just from the beginning, there's a little controversy in this race at the end. And I just want to say something about that. I know a lot of people are a little bit upset with the kind of missing lap count or mistake with the lap count. But I just want to say, the USA cycling officials do a great job. The announcers do a great job. And honestly, there's a lot going on in California right now. There's just, in the heat of the moment or in the emotions and stuff, we kind of, anything can happen. We make mistakes. People are out there racing. They're kind of mad and stuff as well whenever there's any type of controversy. But I just want to be clear that, we completely appreciate the officials and the announcers and just, really grateful for having a place to race, especially in California right now with all the fires and all the hardships and things like that. We're actually really blessed to just even be able to race our bikes, So anyway, just wanted to get that out in the open and just say that up front that all the women in this race, they raced hard. They tried to earn a honest finish, and hopefully the mistake at the end, hopefully that doesn't tarnish this event at all. So anyway, we got I think we have 5 women in this race. And I have Ellen here with me too. I have Ellen here with me, gonna do some comments as well and help me break down the race. But we have 5 women in this race. The camera angle here is Marlena Bemis. We also have Elisa Luo, Felicia Castellano, if I just butchered her name. Anastasia, I'm not gonna even try to pronounce her last name. And we also have Naomi, which I'm not gonna try to pronounce her last name either. But yeah, so all of the women did an incredible job. We at A Faster Me, our motto, we kind of like working as a team. It's like it's not even optional really. We are going to race as a team. We're going to work as a team. We're going to kind of try to stick to our game plan and execute. And it's a beautiful thing when it all comes together.
And it was really just exciting to see the women kind of excited to work together, strategizing before the race, and just seeing them after as well. I think it's great to be kind of part of something greater than yourself, trying to build something together. So just really fun race to watch and see some of the tactics starting to come together.
Yeah, and it's a pretty good field also, you see Colleen right there, Colleen Golick in the green shirt. You also have Chloe Patrick in the field. I can't remember what her Crit Nationals is. I don't know if it's Junior Crit Nationals or if it's U23 Crit Nationals. But anyway, she's national champion. You got a couple of the mommies in the race. Got Altavello that showed up. Jade from Major Motion. You got Morgan James in the race. That's Naomi right here in front of us. You also have LABA with Camilla in the race. Like, it's a pretty stacked field here. And then I don't know their exact name, but Team Endurance, a newer team. And then you got Lonnie right there. Shout out to Lonnie who stepped up. And Serious Cycling, I'm really proud of the women from Serious Cycling. They did a lot of work in this race as well. So as you can see here, like going up this backstretch, I got to shout out Naomi. You saw her moving up a second ago. Naomi basically tried to punish the group anytime the speed got slow, especially on this backstretch here. And early in the race, she was definitely attacking virtually every lap. And that plays a big part in like the outcome of the race. We went over all of our game plan and team strategy before the race and all that kind of stuff. And, it's awesome. Like, the girls kind of pulled it off to a T. And, they just put in a lot of work. Unfortunately, we don't have all the camera angles from everyone's GoPros. So I'm going to start off here with Marlena's camera, and I'm going to blend in Elisa's camera angle later in the race. But yeah, up front right now, you got Naomi kind of starting some attacks and trying to force a breakaway a little bit. And then you got Anastasia and Felicia up there kind of policing and chasing down moves as well. Yeah, it was everything was good this weekend. Like, unfortunately, with the fires, there wasn't that much smoke as far as like in this area. It was really cold though. You see it's 57. There's a little bit of a breeze and basically no sun out, so it felt pretty cold. Luckily the ladies are racing like later in the day, but for the most part it was a pretty cold day, so yeah, you can see here again, almost every time it spikes here, early in the race, that's Naomi up front, kind of just, trying to force a little breakaway and making sure that the speed doesn't get too slow. At sometimes on the backside here, people like to get down, under 20 miles per hour, and she was definitely making sure that just didn't happen.
And talking to Sherry after the race, she was also in the race, and from her perspective, the attacks were pretty solid, and always nice to hear that from a veteran racer.
Yeah, shout out to Jessica. Also, I saw Jessica right here in front of Marlena, like two bikes in front of Marlena. And Jessica did a great job as well. They didn't have their whole team out. They only had two mommies in this group. And, I'm kind of glad to see that because, the mommies are definitely a force to be reckoned with. And it's going to be fun later in the season because obviously when they bring their squad out and stuff like that. And, we rode with them a little bit this off season, just maybe twice, but still, it's just they're one of the teams that work together as a team as well, and they always have some good solid tactics, and they have riders with the ability to pull it off. So we're definitely trying to match that kind of energy, so it'd be good like when they're all in the race and stuff too, and just see if we're able to keep pace or not. So yeah, the beginning of the race, it's really just all the prep work. Like I said, Naomi's doing a great job with forcing attacks and kind of forcing the speed to stay somewhat high. And then you got like Felicia and Anastasia, covering moves and stuff like that, and just making sure nothing gets off the front unless we're in it. We definitely wanted the race to be a breakaway. We just wanted to make sure that we're in the breakaway. So here, this is on the backstretch here after turn 2, in between turn 2 and 3, and the course is a little beat up right here in turn 3. Historically, there's a little bit of a dip there. There's a lot of trucks, big trucks that come through here, big rigs. So the road gets a little beat up right there because of the like storm drain. So there's always like a little hole in the corner right at the apex. So if you look to the right there, they kind of coned it off and put a fence and just make sure everybody goes around that hole. But it makes the turn pretty sharp there. It's not rounded. So just visually, it kind of plays tricks on you a little bit. And if you're going in tight, like the ladies take kind of tight line throughout this race, and it just makes that turn like at a sharp angle instead of approaching it from a wider approach and just kind of rounding it off. Yeah, so this is Lonnie's first P123 race. She just moved up to Cat 3, I think, at the end of last year. I think this was her first race. She did a great job, too, just kind of sitting in, hanging in there nicely, and just getting some experience with some of these girls that's been doing this for a little while now. So you see that's Elisa Luo in front of us there with Felicia on the left here. Just kind of sitting in, taking it easy. These races are pretty long, 50 minutes. Sometimes they're 60, but for the most part, they're 50 minutes. And, it's kind of hard to be really active throughout the entire race. You use a lot of your energy at the beginning of the race. Sometimes you just don't have much left at the end.
And this race was shortened by maybe 5 minutes, just due to getting a little bit behind schedule with a few crashes earlier in the day. So I think it's, a little bit shorter than the women are used to racing, but definitely was, quite a bit of, movement and things happening during the race.
Yeah, so you see that's Chloe Patrick there in the, red, white, and blue kit, the national championship kit in front of Colleen there. And same thing, they're kind of just chilling in the back, not using too much energy early on. When you have that kind of experience, you kind of know not to waste a lot of your energy. And this is, one of the things we emphasize, like I said, is teamwork. And this is one of the reasons why you have multiple riders in the team. I think we have the biggest team this weekend. So, to a degree, we had an advantage. We have 5 girls out there, and I think the next biggest team is 3. So, yeah, we have a little bit of numbers that we can use for different things. And we don't have to worry about whoever's doing work at the beginning, having enough energy to compete at the end of the race.
And also just it being the beginning of the season, coming off of an off season, not everyone is in the maybe race shape or not knowing how their fitness is, just with so much happening, haven't been able to maybe get the work done. Definitely not outside with all of the smoke.
Yeah, not just the smoke. I mean, obviously people have lost their house. A lot of people have lost their bikes, and unfortunately, there's people that have lost their lives as well. So, like I said at the beginning, it's definitely a blessing just to be able to race our bikes out here, especially anything in Southern California, So, yeah, things are about to get spicy in a minute. They're already spicy at the front, but, it's going to really kick off in a little bit. Like I said, I wish we had the front camera angle, but I can't remember if Naomi recorded or not. But I wasn't able to get her film before she left. So yeah, we don't have any footage of the front, but definitely they're definitely putting in a lot of work up there and either making moves or covering moves right now. You can see how stretched out it is, and there's riders that have already made the turn.
In watching the race from the front, you don't know all the stuff that's going on the back. So, we saw a few things happening on the front, but I think, Naomi did a lot of her attacking on the backside, and we of course didn't know that watching the race. So it's really interesting how so much can happen, and it just depends on kind of what your perspective is.
Right. Yeah, because when we are on the front side, we're over by the start finish line, and we saw Naomi covering moves, what looked like she was covering moves, which she was, but we didn't realize that she also started those breaks. So she wasn't just covering the break, she was creating the break on the backside, and then when people came around her on the front straight, she would get on their wheel and cover that as well. Yeah, and for those of you guys that don't know, this is one of 2 courses at CBR. It's a Carson side and a Dominguez side. This is the Dominguez side. They're both located pretty much in the same spot, just 1 block from each other. I think this one technically has a Compton address. But yeah, it's a big 4-corner crit. They both can be ran both directions. This direction here is pretty much my favorite direction on this side, going clockwise. And, it's a pretty cookie cutter course, but, it can be challenging just depending on how you race it, So right here is turn 1, leads to a slight downhill where you can, high speed downhill going into turn 2 here. But as you can see, the roads are really wide. There's not really, it's not really a technical crit at all. You see the map up in the top left corner there. But it's definitely a fun course. And after turn 3, everything's kind of uphill. So it's really just gradual uphill, like, almost false flat type. But, if you're doing that speed and after you do it for 30, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, it kind of can tax your legs pretty good. So yeah, just something to take note of. You see, there's a lot of the kind of big hitters back here, just kind of chilling. It's early in the race still. No need to use too much energy. It is definitely getting a little slow, and if you see Naomi on the right side, kind of moving up just a little bit on the inside there. So I'm pretty sure she's probably going to launch another attack here, going up the other upside. I mean, up the uphill, and there she goes, standing up a little bit, moving over to the right. Yeah, she may not have attacked here because this is kind of like the slowest. I think they've been going up this little hill here. You see it got up to 5% there, 5.5. Yeah, also, you know, with Founders and Avery Brewing being the sponsors on this, they also had a lot of good preems. They're doing a little something different this year with the leaders' jerseys. We also got Zwift that jumped into the party, and they're going to give away a bike at the end of the year, a Zwift bike, to whoever wins the championship. And then there's also some collectors, like kind of shot glasses, that every one in the top 10 gets a shot glass, and they kind of, you'll collect all 6 of them for the series.
Or a pint glass, you know.
Or pint glass. Shot, pint, I don't know, I don't drink, but yeah.
Big difference in size, at least.
Yeah. All right, you can see it's starting to stretch out a little bit again here. That's Felicia over on the left right there at the white canyon bike. You know, I'm not sure who that is in the black, though. I should have the roster out. I'm sorry, the results. Yeah, Marlena's out in the wind a little bit here. So yeah, I know about here, I think as this lap things start to get a little bit more spicy. It's good to see Altavello too. Altavello's up north, up in Northern California. It's good to see them coming down for one of these crits. I know, I forgot her name, is I think Ashley Beamer. I know I talked to her last year when she came down. She says she likes to come to Southern California for some of the fast crits, just to get her ready for race season. Also, we have a little connection with Altavello because one of the guys that was on my team, he just left the team right now. He didn't really leave the team. He relocated to up north, and he's one of the guys I still coach. But he joined Altavello, and he's going to race with Altavello this season, and that's Joe Garcia. So yeah, Marlena moves to the front now, kind of relieves some of the other riders. It's her turn to kind of take over some of the duties near the front. As you see, Chloe goes on a little attack there, followed by one of the Altavello riders. That's Anastasia chasing it. Anastasia did a lot of work too early, especially, you know, the first half of the race, just chasing down a lot of moves, following wheels. I think she may have also gotten a preem as well. There's Naomi there. Like I said, Naomi's been really active at the front, kind of starting all those attacks and trying to force a breakaway a little bit. There's Sherry to the left with the yellow bike. Sherry did a great job too, working with the Serious Cycling young ladies, and I was really impressed. Like they had a really good showing, and we'll get to it later when it gets to more crunch time and you get them some camera time, be able to explain it a little bit better. And there's Camilla there. Camilla's riding solo today, but she had a really strong finish as well. Really good race. Yeah, like I said, there's some really strong riders in this field. Yeah, so we're just approaching like the halfway point of the race. You can see here, I think it was a preem lap here, and you can see how hot it gets, how spicy it gets. Do you know who the rider is in all black?
Not sure, but I have the roster here. Not sure what number she is.
I'll try to get a glimpse of her number later. There's Jessica over to the left, riding up from Encycle Mommies. That's Jasmine also from Encycle Mommies. She had a really good race, really strong. And Felicia is doing really well, also in this race, really efficient. She's going to have a really strong finish. She's another rider, too, that, will do whatever you ask of her. There's Anastasia there. I think that might have been Evelyn. So as you can see, there's a little break going. Naomi's in that break as well. Well, Naomi starts this break as well. So Marlena's just kind of moving to the front, just kind of monitoring it. If she's not able to go in it, then of course she's just going to monitor the front of the peloton here, kind of set the pace or control the pace a little. All right, you got, I don't know if that was Coalition Cycling going up with Jade following her. There's Emmy Solis. Emmy's riding for Ice Speed this year. You see Felicia pull off wide, didn't need to do the effort, had a teammate up there in the break. So yeah, let some other people chase and we'll use their effort a little bit. I would say also for the first race of the season, you guys probably know I like to critique cornering a lot, and for the first race of the season, I'd say, for the most part, they're doing a pretty good job. Usually the first race of the season is, a little bit sketched. Everybody's a little excited. A lot of people have been indoors on trainers for a long time. So yeah, that's Naomi, and I can't remember if it's one of the Serious Cycling ladies or not, but it's Naomi and another rider up there on the front, off the front. So again, Marlena's at the front again, just trying to monitor it. Trying not to let, really anybody run it down. Yeah, and this is just awesome to see, because this is one of the hardest things to get when people start getting faster. When you have a lot of talented riders, it's really hard to get people to work for each other. You see one of the serious cycling women trying to run it down a little bit, trying to put in a good dig here. I think they're starting to catch them a little bit, but they just kind of turned the corner, so Marlena's going to the front a little bit just to control it. That's Morgan coming underneath her there. Hopefully I'll get a look at the young lady in black's number so we can see who she is. Yeah, they're getting pretty close to running them down now. They're probably about 50 yards in front of them. Probably only about a 5-second lead. But yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy to stay in a break and stay away, and it's also not easy to run down a break. You really have to be committed to both. If you're going to stay away off the front, you got to be committed, and if you're going to chase it down, you have to be committed. And there goes Anastasia moving up too, just trying to control it. All right, so Morgan puts in a hard dig here, and she's just going to try to close that gap there, kind of get it over with. You see Elisa's now moved up to the front as well. She's been sitting on the back for a while, just kind of saving her energy. Yeah, I think from here on out, I don't know, the spice is going to be right. New game show. Your dad jokes, you know, but the spice is right from this point on. So, Ellen's not participating enough in this conversation, so I'm just bored talking to myself.
It's too late for me. I'm just enjoying watching the race, so hopefully you all enjoy watching it as well.
It'd be good. Not only is it an entertaining race, I think it was, for sure one of the best races of the day. Marlena jumps here, I think maybe for this preem. I can't remember if it was a preem or not. But she jumps here with the Altavella rider. I think she clips Marlena at the line there. Puts in a little dig here just to test it out, see if anybody reacts or not. Yeah, but I definitely think this was one of the best races of the day. The crowd was pretty much into it. It was fairly exciting, and I definitely liked the fact that they had the women's race before the men's pro race. And we still had a decent crowd and all the barriers up and all that kind of stuff while everyone's racing. So definitely appreciate Jeff and CBR for doing that and kind of sequencing the races the way they did today. It's a pretty strong effort here. So yeah, Marlena pulls off a little bit. I think she's just gonna kind of shut it down. There's another one of the serious cycling riders at the front. That's Shawnee also moving up front there. Shawnee was pretty active early on in the race. I think she actually led the first couple laps. You see Anastasia going with her, and then she goes for the preem here. I don't know who won it, though. I don't know if Anastasia takes this preem or if Shawnee takes the preem. It's pretty much photo finish there. It looks like Shawnee may have gotten it. So, again, we got one in the break. You see Jade trying to close it down. So, again, Marlena's going to jump on it, kind of follow it a little bit. But I don't know if they're really how hard they're trying to get away up there in the front. And you see Morgan puts in another move there, so puts in a really hard attack there to kind of close it down. All right, you see Elisa's waking up a little bit now. She's kind of a little bit more active, moving towards the front a little. You got Naomi right there on the right as well. Like I said, Naomi put in a lot of work early just with all those constant attacks. If you watch, what is Ray's channel? LA Crits? Yeah, LA Crits. If you watch LA Crits, you'll see it from a different angle, you know, drone shot as well. They're all still cameras or fixed positions, but then he has a drone as well, and you can definitely see a lot of the attacks and stuff from that angle. Yeah, you see Sherry's moving up now with one of the serious cycling women. Marlena just kind of following their wheel up. And so there goes serious cycling now. Actually, I don't know if they go on the break yet. I don't think just yet, because I see someone still on the front, so they're still trying to catch, I think, Anastasia or Shawnee. I think Camilla raced smart as well. She got a preem earlier in the day, but she didn't waste too much energy early. You know, she kind of picked and chose when she wanted to use her efforts. We're definitely more than halfway through the race now. Probably got about 10 minutes left in the race, a little over 10 minutes left, which equates to probably about 6 laps. We're probably going into 6 laps left. So it's probably about 12, 13 minutes. You can see Naomi over on the right attacking again. Got one of the serious cycling riders and Shawnee with her. Like I said, Naomi initiated like a lot of these breaks. Definitely didn't give people too much chance to rest, especially when the speeds got really slow. You see her moving over to the right now. Yeah, Shawnee looked really strong today, too, in this race. Like I said, she was really active early, maybe led the first couple laps. Got that preem also just a lap ago with Anastasia. So here's a pretty critical part of the race here. Like I said, Naomi kind of started that break, and you see Jasmine goes on the attack there, and Elisa's on her wheel with two of the serious cycling riders. Now we're gonna watch from their point of view and see how they get this break started. Or maybe not. Who edited this film? No. All right. Yeah, here we go. So we'll just let it play out so you can hear it. All right, so while Elisa's organizing that break, as you can tell how she was giving instructions, just kind of keep everybody aligned and get them to do a dynamic pace line. Marlena is back here running interference along with Anastasia and the rest of the team. And you'll see then eventually Marlena takes over and just kind of shuts everything down so the break can get a solid time gap. And we knew Elisa had a good time. Good chance. We wanted her to get in the break initially. We knew she'd have a really good chance to stay away in a break if the right group was with her or if she was able to get away solo.
You can see the difference in GoPro stabilization with the two cameras. So, if you haven't raced, Elisa's camera might give you a good idea of kind of some of the jostling that you might experience. And this view makes it seem like, everything's real smooth and, not much movement. So, viewing is a little bit different here, but the other camera angle gives you maybe a sense of what you'd be experiencing out there.
Yeah, like Marlena just went through that bump and it didn't look like anything. And when you're going through that bump at speed in turn 3, yeah, your back tire can skip sometime. You have to kind of get off the pedals for a second. But yeah, look at the effort Marlena puts in here, really shutting down everything. I mean, it's just, there's probably going to be a rotation of 5 to 6 riders, and she's going to cover every single move for the next few laps, just to allow this break to get away and not let anyone establish an organized chase to run it down. As you can see, the young lady flicking the elbow. Of course, Marlena's not trying to come through. Obviously, we're not going to chase our teammate. I think Jade comes through next. Kind of same thing. Jade's looking for someone to come through as well. Obviously, Marlena's not going to come through and chase her teammate. So then Morgan launches an attack right here. You can see Marlena jumps on it as well.
And you see she just did 600 watts there to get on it. She just did, 400 watts on Jade's wheel. So those efforts are very difficult to do. The surging repeatedly and having to react to someone else's moves is difficult.
Yep, she got a free ride right there on the downhill just with the draft being so significant. I think Morgan had it up to 32 miles per hour, so that draft gets extended pretty well, when you're going high speed. So again, Morgan's super strong, but, she can't run it down by herself. Marlena's going to sit on the wheel and not let her get too much help. Morgan pulls off. You see one of the Serious Cycling ladies to the left that was in the break. She couldn't hold the pace up there. So there's still 3 of them in the break. One Serious Cycling, Jasmine, and Elisa. So here goes Marlena covering the next move, the next rider trying to run it down. It's another pretty strong effort. The video might not be doing it justice. Like these are not easy to do. It's not easy to keep covering moves like this, especially late in the race where your legs are kind of tired. You see Marlena's heart rate's at 186. It's not something that's easy to do. Again, young ladies looking for help. Number 409. And Morgan launches another attack here, followed by, it looks like 449 or 490 something.
And 409 is
Rosalind
Patterson.
Yeah, so Morgan gets a good jump here, got the speed up. You see the second girl from Serious Cycling that was in the break kind of falling off now. So now there's only 2 in the break, just Jasmine and Elisa. Great job by the Serious Cycling girls, though. That's just a chance you take when you try to get away in a break. Sometimes it sticks and sometimes it doesn't, or sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You never really know if you have the legs to make it the entire way or not. Morgan's putting in a really solid dig here. Again, she needs some help. Marlena almost makes a mistake here and gets boxed in a little bit. And now someone's attacking on the right side. Luckily, Marlena gets through here and covers this attack as well. Young lady from Altavello. She flicks an elbow as well, but there's a blue jersey there. So all of this stuff right here helps just to keep the speed down and not let someone run your teammate down. And I know some people are saying, why would you give away your tactics and stuff like that? But trust me, it's not that easy to just pull it off. It's way easier said than done. I think that's Evelyn that comes through here. And now if you can see up front, you can see the red jersey. I think that's Jasmine there. She kind of fell off Elisa's wheel, and she's trying to hang on now. She's just trying to hang on for that second place. They're going into the last lap. There's only 1 lap to go here. So you're going to see they're kind of shaking the bell here. There's only 1 lap to go, going into 1 lap. And then I'm going to show you from Elisa's point of view how that break kind of broke up and how she ended up getting away.
Yeah, we got it. Fucking go. We got 10 seconds. Short hard pulls. Short hard pulls. The faster these gonna pull. Short hard pulls. We're
after this move here, yeah, Jasmine just couldn't hang on to this last move here, and can't blame her. I think this is doing like 430 watts or so on this attack. You can see it on her YouTube channel also. I'll list her YouTube channel in the description. But yeah, she's super strong, and Jasmine's trying to hold on, but it was just late in the race, this little uphill, and it was just a little bit too many watts like this to hang on at this point. I'm sure they both helped each other. Can't just really. Not saying you can't, but it's definitely easier to have this type of energy or have success in a breakaway when you have other people rotating with you. So yeah, I don't want to look past like Jasmine's effort and the two girls from Serious Cycling. Like they really established and committed to that break, and that's kind of what allowed Elisa to get all over and take this victory kind of solo. I'm not going to show her last lap just because the camera's not real stable, but as you can see here, it tells them 1 lap to go here, and unfortunately this is where the mistake was made as she turned the corner. Then the announcer unfortunately said 2 laps to go, but it was still just 1 lap to go. It was just a mistake. She just misspoke. So here's the final lap from the actual group. So this is Marlena's camera again. I think she's maybe next to Evelyn here, to her right. And this is Jasmine here coming back. So like the group actually finally catches Jasmine here going into turn 2 on the final lap. She was so close to, obviously she was so close to just staying with Elisa and being a 1-2 battle for them at the end. But she was also just 2 turns away from being, second place on a solo break.
And you can tell the commitment because the other Jasmine and Sarah and Grace, who were in the break, all came in last. So they gave it their all and committed, and then they didn't have anything even left to jump on to the back of the peloton or sprint for a higher place. And that's what,
It's what you have to do.
What you need to do.
Yeah, great job on Marlena here too. If you saw, like, she got boxed in back there, and this is a great job. Like, just giving this effort after shutting down all those moves. Because remember, I cut the video and showed you what Elisa was doing, but this was all consecutive. She had no breaks in between here. So to get blocked off back out to like 15, 16 place, and then come around everyone here to get back up to first for a second before this surge goes off on the left here. She gets a little pinched on the inside there, still makes another acceleration. And then here, Chloe Patrick just launches this sprint here, and Marlena just has no pop in her legs just from covering all those moves, So definitely still a good sprint with all that effort she just gave. Camilla's up there with the great sprint, just can't get the draft there. And Taylor Mays has a really good sprint there. You can see really powerful strokes, and she was actually gaining pretty good. But unfortunately, everyone in the crowd started yelling 2 laps to go, or 1 more to go right here, because they misheard the announcer say 2 laps. But it was just a mistake, it's not an end of the world. So half the girls keep going. They're not really sure, so they're kind of like half pedaling now, as you can see. Everyone's kind of sitting up, but also no one has any energy now either because everyone just sprinted. So you'll see Chloe Patrick and Colleen Gullick as they turn 2 here, and they're just sitting up talking because they knew that was the last lap, But unfortunately, just a little bit of controversy. Like I said at the beginning, it happens, and the officials explained it during the men's pro race that basically the lap counter and what the announcer says is not official. The official is the ringing of the bell in the last couple laps, because they shouldn't do preems like with 3 to go or so. So if you hear a bell, that means it's the last lap. And also the USA Cycling officials, they have the final word. Like, they're keeping time, they're keeping count of the laps, but they don't have a microphone to announce to the crowd, just the announcers do. So the USA Cycling officials will have it, the correct laps and everything else, and they have video to go back and check if they need to. It's just, sometimes people make mistakes, and it's no big deal. All should be forgiven, and hopefully, if anyone was offended or insulted or anything in the heat of the moment, hopefully, definitely by me, if anything, I apologize for that if anyone did. But it was never that big of a deal necessarily. It was just a little bit of frustration over, okay, is it 1 to go, 2 to go, or what? Because we just told our girl to keep going, and we wouldn't have done that if it was actually 5 laps to go instead of 3 laps to go when we told her to keep going. So, but anyway, thank you for watching. 2025 is off to a great start. Our first P123 win, and we're off to a good start for the season.